Is there any pranks they've played on you three? Any pranks they've played on you yet? Football, Jos, or?
Premier League game with the lads, and then you just kick on and catch up with TC.
Right, Jennifer Aniston, Margot Robbie.
A couple of beers at home, maybe, nice feed, watching the footy or something.
Hopefully out the bubble somewhere. Yeah.
Welcome to the Royals podcast. This is Shane Warne here. I'm joined by some absolute legends, Tom Curran, skipper Steve Smith, and Jos Buttler. First of all, boys, you play against each other, you sledged the absolute out of each other, and now you're playing with each other for the Royals. How does that feel?
Yeah, it feels pretty good, to be honest. I think you play so much against each other now. You sort of get to know each other pretty well. Obviously, I played a bit with Steve at the Sixers last year as well. So, obviously played a hell of a lot with Jos as well. So it definitely has that sort of homely feel to it. It's nice to have some familiar faces around the group.
What about you, Smudge?
Yeah, I don't know if we sledge each other.
Come on, surely there's a little bit of sledging from the wickety. Hey, what about Jos behind the stumps? You know, he must say something to you.
Smudge. Hit him off the square, mate.
Try the offside.
Wise choice. Yeah. It's great to have boys. I think the beauty of IPL is playing with different people from all different countries and watching them go about their business and learning off them. And we create a good environment here at the Royals where, we can all watch each other prepare and help our own game out as well.
What about you, Jos?
Yeah, spot on. I think, like Steve says, that one of the great things about the IPL is mixing with everyone from all the different nations. It almost takes away a bit of the fear factor at times. You sort of play against guys and build guys up, and then you realise, actually the majority of us still have the same feelings going into games and the same thoughts about, and still question our techniques or whatever. Just good to know that people still think the same, even though you're playing with great players. So, and as English guys, we tried so hard to get Smudge out in the Ashes, so it's nice that he's on our side for one.
No, absolutely. What about the key to when everyone plays for different franchises? What's the key with the IPL? What makes the IPL so special?
I think just the beauty of it is just people coming from all over the world, all the best players coming to play in one tournament, and you're playing with them or against them, and it's a great development, I think, for your game. And
is one of the keys also is you get the internationals from different countries and you all come together, but understanding the Indian culture, the Indian players that come is very important to a franchise too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think sort of my first experience of the IPL was in India. And I think, when you actually get to go there and see it for the first time, I think you then sort of come to terms with how much of cricket is more than just a game there. It's incredible. The culture, the love for the game and the passion that not only the fans have there is quite amazing. And then, like Steve and Jos said, developing your skills, working with not only the big Indian players, but, some of the young guys who, incredibly talented players. Developing our games in those conditions as well, and being able to bounce off ideas with the world's best is just it's quite amazing.
One of the key things for the Rajasthan Royals is innovation. It's been to try and unveil young talent and really push young talent. We're very lucky at the Royals; we've got a lot of young talent, but sometimes I suppose it's frustrating because they're trying to learn. So it's your guys' opportunity to try and teach them a lot. Is that frustrating at times, or is it sort of fun to look after those young Indian boys and help them too?
Yeah, I think that's part of the fun of it as well. I think one thing you really value is experience. And I think when I was young, I probably didn't appreciate how much experience would help you as a cricketer. And then as you get older, you really realise how valuable it is. And I think it's, without knowing, young guys coming up and chatting to you and you're just talking about cricket, but passing on experiences will hugely benefit them and accelerate that learning process, which is probably why the IPL is such a huge benefit to Indian players and Indian cricket, that these guys are coming in and learning from the best players in the world, and then when they go into international cricket, they've already experienced what the pressure's like. They'll probably never come under as much pressure as they will anyway. So there's no coincidence you see players come straight into the Indian team and perform.
I like that. And what about the setup at the Royals? What sets the Royals apart from everybody else? What's one of the special things about the Rajasthan Royals?
I think the family sort of vibe. I think we try and stick together as much as possible. I think the reality of IPLs, you have big squads. You have 8 overseas players, of which only 4 can play. You have, 20, 25, Indian players or thereabouts, and you might only play 13 or 14 of them. So the reality is that not everyone's going to play, but keeping the sort of the vibe together and not sort of separating too much when particularly things aren't going so well is really important. So I think we've got a good sort of mix of that and a good sort of family vibe.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I did. I mean, obviously, it's my first year at the Royals, but it definitely did. It's sort of been spoken about that it is that sort of family environment. But I definitely noticed that when I came in. Just a couple of things that, sort of events and nice little touches that the team had put on and the management did. It definitely, in terms of someone coming into the environment, it was really made a sort of welcoming and family felt environment from the get-go, definitely.
That's good. Speaking about the family, what franchise does your family support? Obviously, you've got your brother playing at Chennai. Do they support Chennai or the Royals? Who?
Well, I think my mum would just be supporting us. I don't know if she'd have an actual team. She definitely wouldn't be, but my brother Ben said he's supporting the Royals. I knew he would pick, definitely.
How are you enjoying it this year, King?
Yeah, a little bit different for me. Obviously, my role is brand ambassador and team mentor. My role is to sit in the stands and observe what's been going on, and then feedback that to you and Macca, Andrew McDonald, the coach, to see if I could, what I would do differently, or just for discussion, bring up some discussion points, what we did good, what maybe we could improve on, what I saw. So that's sort of the on-field sort of cricket side, and then the brand ambassador side is working with the sponsors of the Rajasthan Royals. What sport do you guys enjoy away from cricket? Football, Jos, or?
Yeah, it's real football, not soccer.
Smudge, what do you like?
I love my tennis, love playing my tennis.
It's guitar.
Guitar, yeah.
Guitar.
We'll get onto the singing in a minute.
Yeah, that's not shocking. And rugby league, I think.
Yep. What about you, TC?
Yeah, similar. Obviously, watch most sports on TV. Love my golf as well. We've managed to get on the course, haven't we? Had some good games going down to the wire.
I was just going to ask you, you started playing the IPL in 2008, I think. So the first edition. Like, what changes have you seen throughout the tournament in 12, 13 years? Obviously, starting playing and now being involved as well. So how you see that it's changed?
Good question. I think the athleticism of the fielding has probably really changed, and I think of how important T20 cricket is taken. When we first started, 2008, it was really the first time it was serious. Before that, the international T20 games were pretty mess-around type games. It was just a bit of fun, like this game won't take. This is just a bit of hit and giggle. Test cricket's what it's all about. And just to see the evolvement and how it's progressed T20 cricket into something that now is huge. But watching the players' skill level, I think, evolve has been fascinating. The shots that, when I played, you just didn't even think of. You say, how do they play those shots? You wouldn't have even thought of even playing those shots. So the innovation from the batsman has been really good. I think the athleticism of the fielding has been really good. I still think tactically I think a lot of the captains, you can see the difference between a good captain and a bad captain tactically. So I still think that's a really important part of the game. Catching, I think, is still something that can improve. But I think the majority of cricket has got better, especially the athleticism and the fielding. I think some of the catches we see these days that you guys do is outstanding, phenomenal, just unreal. So well done to you guys. Right, now this segment 3 is called The Truth, the Whole Truth, and Nothing But the Truth. Batting order. Okay, Josh, you're top. Tell me if we're going warm, cold, where do you want me?
You're roasting hot there.
That one?
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look. What was the first thing you were ever told about the Ashes as a kid?
Probably about your ball, actually.
Hey!
Just say, what happened to Ashes cricket? Oh, this big fella bowled a big leg spinner. I reckon then the real Ashes, 2005, I think, was the sort of, it was the perfect age for that. England was starting to get good. It was All-Stars 11 with Australia, and actually just the way you saw the crowds and stuff in England, the interest in the game was amazing, and everyone, you just couldn't get enough of it. So I think then you sort of grasp the magnitude of it, and I think because we won for once, before that we just kept getting hammered, so you sort of try and turn it off, but we were doing all right then.
Yeah,
so
well done.
it was
Well
good.
done. Well, the Ashes, that 2005 Ashes you talked about, I don't think I was involved in a series where the skill from both teams was on display, the sportsmanship from both teams, but above all, it really captured the public's imagination, not just cricket lovers. Like every ground in that series was 10,000 people. Old Trafford at one stage, where we couldn't get the bus through the crowd, and Marcus Trescothick, who was opening batting for England, had to dump his car and run to the ground because he couldn't get through the crowd. There was so many people trying to get a ticket for the last day. So I don't think I'd been involved in anything that had captured the public's imagination like that. And England, for the first time in my time, was like that they beat us and they deserved to win. They were the better side. They played brilliant cricket. But each Test match basically went down to the wire. And whenever you get a Test match against anyone that's down to the wire, especially an Ashes Test, it was always pretty exciting. So yeah, it was a pretty good series. Unfortunately, the wrong team won, but we deserved to win. Right, Smudge, come on. Where am I looking in here? Where am I? Which one? Tell me where.
Yeah, you're good there.
There? Okay. What will you eat on your cheat day? Chocolate. Chocolate?
Oh,
Any particular white chocolate, dark chocolate, peanuts?
At the moment, dark. I like
Okay.
this Tony's. Have you had that? It's
No.
not bad.
Good, is it?
Decent, yeah.
Cold in the fridge and get it
Yeah,
crisp,
I like
or you like it warm?
I like it in the fridge, yeah.
Right, okay, very good. Okay, Josh, you don't
Room
like
temp.
it? Room temp?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. What,
Yeah,
TC?
no, I like it in the fridge. It's
Yeah,
not
I
bad.
must
Yeah,
admit,
not
3
too.
against 1 on fridge as well.
Yeah.
I like it crisp.
Yeah,
Right, okay, TC, tell me where.
there you go. Hot
Yeah.
there. Yeah, let's have a look.
Okay. The one adventure you'd like to experience in your lifetime.
Ooh.
What's on the bucket list, basically?
Well, I guess that's sort of that period that most sportsmen miss. You sort of miss that school. You go out of school and all your mates go traveling, don't they? Do that sort of backpacker route through South America, all of that, which well, I guess I've never done, which I think I'd like to do. Maybe not so much the proper backpacking, but but the sort of the traveling through South America, walking, exploring, all of that sort of region. I'd love to do that at some point, definitely.
Smudge? Joss, what have you got? Is there anything on the bucket list?
I'd love to go to the Masters, watch golf there. I'd love to see a football World Cup final or a rugby World Cup final or something along those lines.
I'll go along the sporting lines. Maybe a Super Bowl. I think
Yep.
would be pretty cool to witness. Can't think of much else. I'm pretty boring.
Smudge, if you could go on a dinner date with one celebrity, who would that be? Should have been for TC. Who would ask you
I
anyway?
got asked this question the other day. I said Margot Robbie.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, nice.
Good one, Mark.
Nice.
Yeah, okay, let's all answer that question. Who would yours be?
Ooh, okay, that's a nice one. I like Margot Robbie. I mean, I got asked earlier, childhood crush, and it was Jennifer Aniston. I mean, she's probably a bit old for me now, but I wouldn't mind taking it.
Right, Jennifer Aniston, Margot Robbie.
He's stolen it. I want to take Rachel from Friends out.
How about you, King?
Who would I think Angelina Jolie's number one on my list. I think she... Let's leave it there. Right, next TC, if you could time travel just the once and back, where and to what time would you go?
Well, I reckon sort of that 80s, 90s era, sort of no real phones, or actually going back to the sort of the Live Aid concert,
Yep.
watching obviously Bohemian Rhapsody. I've absolutely
Unbelievable.
loved that
Yeah,
film.
yeah.
Yeah, go there and get on the beers and listen to
Absolutely.
Freddie
No,
pumping
very
out
good. That was
the
awesome. I
Wembley
loved it too.
Stadium. Yeah.
To Tom and Joss, which Premier League team do you support? You said you don't really support anyone. There must
I've
be
got a
someone
few,
a favourite.
yeah.
Who do you like watching the most?
Man City. Man City, great to watch, yeah.
Yeah, Chelsea fan. Yeah,
Yep.
went to my first Premier League game there, so sort of stuck with them.
Okay, yeah, well done. Okay, what's your favourite Shane Warne moment to everyone? That's a question, I'm not making it up.
When you dropped KP at 2005.
2005. When I dropped KP, 2005, yep. Smudge?
I think your 05 Ashes, the whole just campaign.
Okay.
Great to watch.
Thank you.
Few highlights, obviously, growing up watching, but I reckon also a couple of fights with Marlon Samuels. That was a classic. Enjoyed that. Got to be one of the career highlights, that, Warney.
Thank you very much. That was very good. We'll have some more fun later, TC, once out of the bubble. You might have a few more different memories. Right, to everyone, the one sports person outside of cricket you look up to the most?
Tiger Woods has got to be up there, hasn't he?
Yeah,
That
Tiger.
comeback just jumped to mind there. What a legend.
Yep.
Federer.
Roger Federer.
Messi.
Messi. Oh, 3 rippers. Where would you like to build your dream house? All 3. Where would you like to build your dream house? If you choose anywhere in the world, where would you like to build it?
Positano.
Positano. Good spot. Positano, yep.
New York, maybe.
New York.
Ooh,
What
yeah.
a vibe in New York.
Reckon a bit of sun somewhere, maybe a little island, Caribbean somewhere.
Gilligan's Island. you
Yeah,
get out
go
there
on
for
then.
What's your perfect and ideal Saturday night look like? TC, you
Yeah,
start.
Saturday, I reckon, post win, 5 or 6 beers in the change room, then hit the town. That's pretty ideal, I reckon. That chat after the games, a few beers and then a few more out. That's a good evening, that.
Very good, TC. Smudge?
A couple of beers at home, maybe nice feed, watching the footy or something.
Yep, good.
Premier League game with the lads, and then you just kick on and catch up with TC.
Very good. The one superpower you would want
To fly.
Yeah.
to fly.
I'm with
Oh, that's a
Ryan,
good
yeah.
one
Fly.
there. Read minds wouldn't be too bad. It cause some
Do you
trouble
really
with
want to
that.
know what people are thinking
No,
sometimes?
probably not. There'd be bad thoughts, wouldn't there? That's not a good one.
The thing you love and hate the most about the Ashes.
Probably love and hate the hype at the same
Hype,
time.
yeah.
I
Yep.
think sometimes, you're playing a different series like 2 years before, and people are saying, "Oh, what's
Still
your attack going to be for the Ashes?" Or is so and so going to play in the Ashes? So it's quite far away. Let's just
What's your
play this
prediction?
game. Yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff. The prediction's the
Just-
worst one.
just
What's the
5-0
prediction? It's like,
ones.
yeah, exactly. Okay, let's get to know a few of the Royals. Who's the joker of the team? Is there someone in there that in the Royals change rooms that sort of messes around, or is it Sanju Samson? Is it JD? Is there someone in there that sort of does things in the change rooms, or is it all pretty much cricket?
No,
Trey
there's-
Scopel, maybe?
Yeah,
Is he
there's a
SG?
few jokers. Sanju's a funny bloke as well.
Is there any pranks they've played on you three? Any pranks they've played on you yet?
Trey is on the pool table. He's got he's renowned for potting the ball, but then putting it back. Well, for me, potting a ball and putting it back on the table. So yeah, you've got to watch him closely there.
Okay. What about who's Mr. Serious? Is there anyone that's really serious and focused on the games all the time and sits there and just gets in a zone? No one. Anyone's really Mr. Serious?
Zubin.
Say Yash as well, a youngster. Yeah, Smudge hits a lot of balls, but he hits even more. And he's serious. He's always, just before the last game, he had a guy with a right arm, bowling right arm with a new ball, left arm with a new. He was as prepared as you could be for the game. It was good. But I think, again, that's be one of those things that he might not do that in a few years, but it makes him feel great at the minute. So determined and
That's good.
serious,
I
which
like
is
that.
great.
All right, well, thank you very much for joining us, and good luck for the rest of the tournament.
Cheers, Warney.
Cheers.